Hey, this is Humans Using LinkedIn. I'm Teddy Burriss. For those who have never met me, I've been teaching LinkedIn as a business tool since 2009. I'm getting a little bit better at it every year. My guest today is Dean Way and Tanner Poindexter. And the conversations today are going to be a little bit about prospecting, a little bit about LinkedIn company pages and how we create value. But before we get started, let these guys introduce themselves to you. Hey, Dean, would you say hi to the audience, please?
Hi to the audience, please. I'm Dean Way. I have two companies. I own the Best Damn Webinar company at bestdamnwebinar.com, and we market and produce corporate webinars, mostly for tech companies. And I own Way Creative, which is a copywriting company that does top of funnel stuff like headlines and ads and email campaigns, homepages, the very first thing a prospect would ever see.
Yeah, that gets you kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stop right now before you go any further. Yeah, cool beans. And Tanner, would you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Yeah, I'm Tanner Poindexter. I work with Burriss Technologies. We're a business technology consulting company. We do UCaaS managed services, IT managed services, care, internet, infrastructure, anything you can think of, technology related, we do it.
Yeah, cool. So Tanner, could you help me? I need to get a new phone. Can you get me something new?
Those are pretty good. I heard those get the internet, I think. So
Really? This thing? Oh, cool stuff. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you both showing up. So Dean, you and I chatted a while back about creating a prospecting machine. I love your philosophy. I love the ideas of what you're doing. Would you share a little bit about, what does that mean to you? And high level, what do you do? How do you create a prospecting machine on LinkedIn?
So you can start in one of three places, right? So you can consider this process as being at the beginning, the middle, or the end. Almost everyone who's hardcore serious eventually uses some kind of tool. So the people who like their automation to be at the end, those are the folks who subscribe to what are those services like the LinkedIn analytics kind of stuff. So you can really dig into who's consuming content and your posts, that kind of stuff. I don't use any of that stuff, but they seem really great. And then there's the automation in the middle, which is usually Sales Navigator, right? And all the expanded search and automatically building lists for you and all that kind of stuff to use. And then there are the automation tools at the beginning, which help you connect and then message people. Mm-hmm. And that one is the one that's easiest to abuse or to use. Like the analytics one, it's like trying to handle stuff with boxing gloves, and the one in the middle is like handing it with winter gloves, and the one in the beginning is like walking around with two hand grenades. And you have to be super careful that you don't blow up your own hands or someone else's. Yeah. So in my process, everything's geared around a live LinkedIn live event, which I do about once a month or so. Yeah. And it always has the same format. It's a problem that audience is having. It's the same format. It's different. It's a different and new live event every time. I never repeat anything. Yeah. That's one of the challenges of this process is you have to keep coming up with like new compelling content, I guess. But a problem that they face, and then how an expert or like a consultant or a company or whatever like sees that problem, because they have a breadth of experience that the company experiencing it wouldn't have, because they deal with it all the time. And how they approach it, how they tackle it, how they solve it, and then just a little tag sort of somewhere in the middle that says, by the way, I'm one of these people, now let's get back to your problem, right? It's not about Dean, it's about them. And so most of my automation, instead of being at the end with the analytics or in the middle with Sales Navigator, is at the beginning to connect to or invite people who fit a profile. And then once a month, no more, send them a little message, usually less. I think it's about 9 times a year, is to send them a little message saying, by the way, we're doing this event. And it's always a LinkedIn Live event with a LinkedIn Live page. So I'm putting a LinkedIn link into a LinkedIn message to sent to a LinkedIn first connection. Yeah. And LinkedIn, of course, will pull in the thumbnail of the event and sort of populate it for me. And then, some number of people will sign up and watch me do something live.
Yeah. And do you get engagement during that live? Do you pay attention to those comments?
Yeah. So because I have that webinar company as well, and I'm doing, helping for other people and also doing LinkedIn lives for them. I tell them that there's a big difference between a LinkedIn live or any kind of live stream like that and what you might have in a go-to webinar or a Zoom webinar kind of thing, and that you'll get more engagement. Typically, it seems It seems counterintuitive. You'll get more engagement in the closed environment very often than you'll get in an open environment like LinkedIn Live. In that, everybody in a Zoom webinar kind of thing, they don't have to give their own name. You don't know what company they're with. You can't click on their face and see their entire profile. So they can ask almost anything they want because there's a degree of anonymity there. Yeah. Whereas I find I get less engagement on LinkedIn Live type stuff because like anything you put there is public record on the internet for all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, but what I do find is whenever I go to because I've been doing this for a couple of years now, every time I go to any kind of networking group or I accept an invitation to talk to a group or something, I should be used to this and I'll never get used to it. If someone says, "Oh, I know you already. I've seen lots of your stuff." And it's like, I don't know, it's still kind of like astounds me that people watch my stuff, but people watch my stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
I'm
right with you. You know, and for me, I'm with you as well. I do currently up until the end of 2023, I'm doing a live Zoom call every Wednesday, a 1-hour show, and it goes on LinkedIn. And you're right, in the Zoom call, the Zoom webinar, I get lots of engagement in chat.
Yeah,
through LinkedIn Live, minimal. And I can get 10 or 15 people watching it, I'll get minimal engagement. And I'm okay.
How many people want to tell the entire world that they or their company are having a problem?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. So and I think you told me that the majority of your business comes through this marketing or this delivery of these LinkedIn Live events.
Yeah, just give something kind of big and valuable away that's brand new every month, and just let it run and do your thing for your live audience. And then it does take a while. Twice now, I was telling this to a client the other day, twice in the last 18 months, it worked so well that I had to stop doing it because I was just crushed with the amount of work.
Yeah.
And then I always regret turning it off like you would for any prospecting engine, right? Yeah. And then it takes X number of months to ramp up again. And then I get overwhelmed and I set it down a second time because, I wasn't smart enough to learn my lesson the first time. And now I just turned it back on a few months ago. And now, as we were saying just before, like I'm crushed with work again. Yeah. Like I will work 7 days a week, probably from now until end of January. Yeah. Although I swore last time I will never turn this off again. And I'm not. Like I'll work as much as there is to work, but you just can't turn off these kind of things because they just take a while of producing the content. It takes a while to like build up steam and start generating. So a prospecting engine to me is, you have a real company instead of just a practice or a referral kind of thing. When you have like a tech stack or a prospecting engine, something where like you push a button and X number of weeks or months later, money comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't turn off the money. I should put that on my wall. Right? Yeah. Don't turn off the money.
Yeah.
Because I was not smart enough to not turn off the money the first 2 times. So
you need to hire yourself a baby Dean.
If only, right?
Yeah. So good stuff. All right. So Tanner, when you and I chatted, you were talking about you're fairly new into this activity of using LinkedIn company pages. So talk a little bit about how you're using LinkedIn company pages today and what you're doing with them.
Right. I think for us, we never had a huge LinkedIn presence to start with. And when I came in, it was kind of my role and I wanted to kind of get the following base up. And then that was kind of goal number one. And then I think from when I started with it till now, we've probably gained about 500 followers. So, grown and be able to see the analytics. Okay. Who's following us, who's engaging in the post, who's commenting, reaching out to those folks. And then also, it has a cool feature. You can see competitors. So I can select, the top 10 competitors in the area or, maybe competitors who are nationwide, some of the larger, IT and technology groups, and just kind of see, okay, where's their growth coming from? What is their post impressions, things like that. So it allows me to kind of get a better view and, again, see what they're doing so we can, not clone it, but put our own spin to it and get it out to our customers and just the triad area. So it's been a big help. We haven't had a huge growth of customers come in from leads on it, but we've gotten a couple just where they see, okay, they're working with so-and-so. Let's reach out or we'll follow up with them. Say, hey, we saw you liked our post. Would you guys be interested in a demonstration? kind of seeing what we're doing, what we can help, how we can help them, and simplify what they do in their workplace.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do like the competitor tool that's built into company pages. And I'm with you. I'm not going to copy people's stuff, but when I see someone who plays in my sandbox doing something a little different than me, I have to evaluate, does that make sense for me to look at that style or look at that, that design? And what are they doing differently? Because they're getting X amount of engagement on their posts, and I'm not getting something similar, or vice versa. And so along the lines of what Dean said, I think we find often that the company pages that are getting the greatest amount of engagement, i.e., opportunities, are those that are giving content versus what I refer to as thumping their chest, all about, it's me, me, me. So,
right.
And you did help me with this. You said you do outreach on your followers. So someone's following your page or engaging your content. How's your outreach work out? How do you do that?
Usually it's we will reach out. We have some CRM integrations that we can pull email addresses, things like that. So find their email address, maybe a phone number, see where they work, and just call directly in and ask for who followed us or commented.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do now. Again, our customer service is kind of our biggest thing we do in the industry, and we pride ourselves. So we think, rather than sending an email directly or an email from LinkedIn, just call them, reach out, and introduce yourself, and see if there's any give that they'll give back to you. So kind of what we do.
I get you. Now, do you use your company page to go out publicly on LinkedIn and engage on posts as the company versus engage as Tanner?
Right. Yeah. Some of my buddies who follow me, I'll always be the first like on our posts, and Burriss will always be the first like on their post, because it has a little tab you can switch back and forth. But it's a good way to kind of get it out there and comment. And so I manage all of that. Comment. Customers who have events, comment on that, reshare it. One of the things we do, when we do an install for our Burriss Voice solution, and we'll kind of give a recap of who that customer is, what they do in Winston or where their location is, and give some history on that, and then send that out. Just show them some love, just show them that we're paying attention and we're here for them to help them. Again, it's all about customer service.
No, I'm with you. Now here, a facetious question: Does Versa Technologies go out publicly and engage on a content, and then say in the comment, "Hey, if you want to have a great conversation, reach out to Tanner Poindexter"?
Oh yeah. We had a golf tournament a couple of weeks ago, and I took a picture with our team and posted it, and thanks to so and so from this company, and thanks for joining Tanner and Keith out on the golf course today. So I'm typing in third person, but it's all right.
Yeah, I get it. And I mean, company pages are what I refer to as the second most important piece on LinkedIn. The first most important piece are the humans, because really it is about human to human engagement. So good stuff. Dean, any thought about, or Tanner, any thought about what Dean said? Any comments either way?
I was going to ask Dean a question on his. So I guess your business has gone from your live sessions. So on your live session, do you do any reaching out, I guess, from the list that the live gives you, or is it mostly they're reaching out to you and then or is it, I guess, both probably, but I guess what's more?
I'll tell you the second reason to do the live events. The first, of course, is you're giving to your constituency, basically, right? I'm providing value there. The second reason is by getting people to register for the live event. And you basically need the pop-up tool for this, unless you're going to use some kind of scraper. That gets too exotic for me. But for a LinkedIn live event, you can either have people just click a button, and that's it. And it just says, I think it just says attend. Yeah. And then the other is register, and it pops up a little form. Now, because it's a social media platform, it already knows all the details about everybody. It just pops up a little form, and then they click a button and they've registered, kind of like a webinar. And that's the one you want, because that one lets you download a spreadsheet of everyone who registered. Yeah. And once you've got them in a spreadsheet, you can move them over to basically you can move them off of LinkedIn. Like, God forbid anything ever happens to your LinkedIn account, right? Or you end up in LinkedIn jail or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you can download after every event. Those people go into your mailing list, and now you can have like better communications with them.
Right. And they gave you permission to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing. Yeah, there's two options for that, and you have to be careful about this. For the LinkedIn events where you have the pop-up form, and again, any LinkedIn can have a pop-up form. It's just a matter of choosing. There is an opt-in for marketing, but some people choose that, most don't. Yeah. But you can actually you're still allowed to communicate with them about the event.
Right.
So leading up to the event, which is why in my case the event's always once a month. And some people are going to get several emails because it's weeks and weeks away, and then also after the event to refer back, give them the replay video, the link, that kind of stuff. So you can communicate with them many times, and then along the line you provide a link or something where they can like enroll in your like real mailing list, and then of course you can communicate like any subscriber to any mailing list.
Now, when you're doing your live, Dean, what are you using for live? StreamYard, Restream?
Restream. Definitely Restream.
Yeah. So you're recording in Restream as well. Are you capturing?
Yeah. So I mean, Restream is Restream records everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. LinkedIn Lives are not allowed to be recorded, or I should say you're not allowed to. LinkedIn Live has a lot of weird rules.
They do. Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to talk about LinkedIn during a LinkedIn Live. Like it's one of the rules. Yeah. You're not allowed to sell anything, which is fine because I'm not selling anything in these sessions. And the third rule is LinkedIn Lives should be live. So even though you could record something and then send it out to LinkedIn Live, there are guidelines. They don't technically have a terms of service. So you're not breaking a rule per se, but you're not supposed to record something and then send it to LinkedIn Live. Yeah, you can to any other platform, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever. Yeah. But you have to be careful about that.
Yeah. So
just understand, be very kind to LinkedIn because
hey, play with the tools the way they want us to play with it and learn how to do it well, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff. Any other thoughts, gentlemen? So look, this is really pretty easy. I try to show up a couple times, once or twice a month with what I refer to as humans using LinkedIn. And you never know where the conversation is going. I've got 3 more sessions stacked up to do over the next month or so. And, I'll put this out on YouTube. I will put it out on the website. If you want to reach out to Dean, I'll put Dean's LinkedIn profile in there. Tanner, I'll put Tanner's LinkedIn profile out there. Follow them, connect with them if you see some value in having a mutually beneficial conversation. Tanner, Dean, thank you both for showing up today. I appreciate you both.
Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you guys. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.